Have you talked only to Sam, or have you spoken to Al? And I asked that in terms of, I'd like you to clarify, because you've been pointed towards Al Haymon in the past, but I would like you to remind us what problems, if any, you did have with him, because a lot of people aren't going to understand why you're dealing with someone who had spoken pointedly against. So I want everyone to know expressly.
Well, we had spoken in the past, but it didn't work out, But that was more me reaching out to them. This time, they reached out to me, and kind of surprised me because, like I said, I thought that I was kind of done, and I wasn't really looking to fighting or anything. And they reached out to me and kind of gave me that outline. I've spoken only to Sam thus far, but I've had positive conversations with Sam, and I've spoken to Sam very often. At one point, I was speaking every day for a while. It was an outline that was given to me that, to me, means I can make more money and I can have bigger fights. I think the complaints about Al Haymon are more from the side that when you're not with him, you're kind of fighting that uphill battle. When you're with Team Haymon, it makes it easier. It takes kind of less pressure, puts less pressure on the fighter. You can just focus on training and being at your best, and everything else will be handled.
So it wasn't a problem with Al.
It wasn't a problem with Al. It was more of a problem with the politics and the circumstances and the way it is. It's a situation where I think it's back in the day. I'll give you an example. Back in the day, Don King used to make everybody money, but Don King used to steal a lot of money from people. The fighters would make money with Don King. Kind of had to go with Don King, but nobody was happy with Don King. I think that the difference with Al Haymon and Don King is Al Haymon, all his fighters are happy with him. Nobody's snickering behind his back that they're with him. Nobody's complaining that they signed with him once they're with him. Everybody wants them being happy. So at the end of the day, what you really would actually like to see, for all fighters' sake, is everybody to be able to be with the guy. But unfortunately, you can't have that, because then it seems like his fighters get treated the way they should, and a lot of times other fighters don't. So it's more you're battling to be treated right, and if you can get with a guy like that, you get the correct treatment for the work you have.
Very provocative session for you today. You really got on a rant and a roll against the boxing media, many of whom are fanboys. Was that something you were planning on doing, or did you just get clicking while you were going?
Yeah, it just got clicking while I was going, But because I just started, I brought the last fight, and I just got irritated, with things that went on. I felt like the last fight, the media made it the National Enquirer of boxing instead of actual reporting on the fight. One thing you have to understand about me, and one thing that the dumbasses in the media really should already know about me, because I've been around long enough to know this about me, is I'm about as real, upfront, blunt, and as honest as they come. So when I say something is true or not true, you bet your ass that it's true, it's true or not true, whatever I'm saying. You don't have to question it, you don't have to deny it. So whatever I was saying during the promotion of the last fight, this shouldn't be questioned whether it was true or not, because you already know my reputation. I'll be honest to the point where I make myself look stupid, and I have been honest to the point where I make myself look stupid. So anything I say should never be questioned. The fact that anything I was saying was being questioned and twisted and turned because of things Broner was saying was very irritating, especially to a media where it's like, I'm not the new kid on the block. I've been around a long time. You know my reputation. I'm as real as they come. So don't question me when I say something. Don't make like, oh, he's downplaying it, or don't question it ever, because I've been real to the point where sometimes I'll even make myself look stupid. I don't care. Honesty is my policy.
Isn't that part of the reason why?
One of the reasons.
Part of the reason why.
Yeah, it was one of the reasons, of course. But I don't need to deal with this. You know what I'm saying?
Then why start it up again? With the press conference today and getting it back into the media.
Because I felt like nobody puts people in their place. I feel like people need to be put in their places, and the people. I don't need to point fingers, but those people know who they are. The people know the kind of reporting they did for the last fight, and I just felt like generalizing it and basically saying, don't get it twisted. I'm the real guy. I'm not the guy that I'll be real to the point where I'll make myself look stupid if it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem telling you the truth. I don't have a problem being upfront about anything. When a question is asked, I'll give it to you. And if I don't feel like answering, then I'll tell you I don't want to answer. But I will not lie. It's not my policy. It's something I've never done. And I have that reputation already. So the fact that things were twisted, misconstrued, and then turned around on me after things I was saying really irked me, because again, like I said, I'm not the new kid on the block. You kind of know I have this reputation already. So why question it now?
What about Zab? You know, what's your take on facing him? Because obviously he's an older guy, but he's still extremely on top of his game.
I think one thing Zab showed in his last fight is that his age is better than a lot of fighters are in their prime. You know, this is still Zab Judah, and even past his prime, he's still at a world-class level. And I think he showed that even at losing Danny Garcia, who's fighting the best junior welterweight in the world, and he was a lot of money, especially late in the fight. So I think he proved that he belongs at that level. I think what he really proves is you can't step him down in competition because he'll blow right through that kind of stuff. He's still on an elite level. He didn't beat Danny Garcia, but he competed with Danny Garcia. And so a guy like that, if you step him down in competition, he'll blow right through him, you know? So he proved that he belongs at this level.